in the absence of new signing Paul Ince, who was fit to make his debut 3 days later at Selhurst Park. On the opening day, Bradford scored the winner in the final minute. This time Borough found themselves trailing early in the first half. Wimbledon taking the lead after 17 minutes, when a neat Dons build-up ended with a well-taken goal by Carl Court. Not the cleanest of strikes, but perfectly placed to beat Mark Sforza. It took Borough just 4 minutes to repair the damage. Paul Ince with a run and pass on the edge of the box. Rickard helped it on, and there was Christian Ziege to make it 1-1. The German celebrating his first goal for Borough in his second match. Good approach play and a perfectly timed run by Ziege. Borough were linking up well, and the Dons' defence was under pressure again when Phil Stamp charged into the box. Kimball's mistimed challenge, conceding a penalty. The replay showed it was just inside the box, and Hamilton Rickard made no mistake from the spot. A cool finish by the Colombian, and Borough lead by 2-1. Midway through the second half, Borough extended their lead. Exquisite work by Gascoigne in the starting point for a great break out of defence. Gazza's run setting up the counter-attack, and it was Rickard who took over. The informed striker weaving his way through the Wimbledon defence and claiming his second goal of the match. Delight for the travelling fans, and a flash of Gazza magic to cherish. It wasn't going to be the best of seasons for Gazza, but that was quality, and so was the finish from Borough's Hamner man. Great composure by Rickard to make it Wimbledon 1, Borough 3. That lead could have been extended when Keith O'Neill went on a fine run, only to see his rasping shot touched over the bar by Sullivan. Gianluca Festa also went close, denied by another fine save from the busy Wimbledon keeper. In the end, it was the Dons who pulled a goal back in the dying minutes. John Hartson's quick turn in the box, making the final score 3-2 to Borough.
Although suffering 2 defeats, Gordon Strachan remained upbeat as the team scored its first goal and gained its first point away to Wimbledon through a late Gary McAllister penalty. With the first point registered, Gordon Strachan pulled off the coup of the season.
The skipper was suspended for the visit of Wimbledon, so youngster Paul Robinson was given his chance on the big stage. So was midfield man Jamie McLean. Hullett had turned to youth when maybe experience was needed.
4 black and white striped shirts in the area as Solano fires it in! Solano's delivery inside the penalty area faultless, and Speed's header inch perfect. All with his back to the direction of play. Here's Domi, and here's Domi again. Didier Domi doubles Newcastle's lead. The Frenchman's first goal since his move from Paris Saint-Germain couldn't have been better timed. A wonderful display of counter-attacking football. Kimball's corner. Little header came down. Court flicked it down for Michael Hughes, who halved the deficit on the stroke of half-time. Fierce catch by with an early chance at the start of the second half, and a decent appeal for handball. Gives them a penalty. Scored in this fixture last season, Solano, and does so again to restore Newcastle's 2-goal cushion. Hughes. And again, back defending gives Wimbledon a chance that they've taken. Thatcher Now to Ainsworth. Gareth Ainsworth trying to find an angle for himself. He has, and Wimbledon have got the equaliser in injury time.
A first point of the season, but more disappointment for Hullett. So looking back, how does the skipper explain the disastrous start to the campaign?
I thought we would. I thought we'd do okay. Atmosphere wasn't brilliant, but I thought, as everyone did, we could work hard in pre-season, and we worked very, very hard. It's one of the hardest pre-seasons I've ever had, and I think we were a little bit tired. We played a hell of a lot of games in pre-season, both here in Scotland and abroad. So there was a little bit of tiredness when we started this season, but that certainly was no excuse for the way we started. Once the season started, everyone's on a par, and we weren't good enough. It's as simple as that. At that time, morale was low, confidence was shot to pieces, and that showed in our performances.
Throwing plenty of bodies forward for this free kick. Puertas among them. Towards Carbonari! Wimbledon failed to pick up Horatio Carbonari, and Derby County lead. A glancing header from the South American. No defender anywhere near him. Towards Hartson, 1-1. Wimbledon on level terms, thanks to John Hartson. Towards Yule, 2-1. Wimbledon have come from a goal down to lead. Leaves it. Johnson! Oh, what a terrific header! And what a terrific goal from Seth Johnson! It's 2-2. The cross was hit deep by Bayano, and Johnson had stolen in on the far side. The insertion that could be a winner, and they nearly get it! Lars Bohingham with the shot.
Jason Newell, who scored Wimbledon's goal here in a 5-1 defeat last season, and also scored against United at Selhurst Park. Oh, and Carl Court has got the better of Yapstam here, and Taibbi got his fingertips to it. An early scare for United. Silvestre. Cut out by Trond Andersen. Scholes, though, smuggles it through to Ryan Giggs. Oh, he's put it wide. In fact, it's a corner. Sullivan must have got a touch on it. Hartson's flick on. Carl Court, he's in here, and he pulls it back for Badir. And Wimbledon have the lead. And it's Walid Badir, the Israeli international. Ryan Giggs is struggling at the moment with an injury, and he will need attention. And it really doesn't look good for Giggs, in fact. He won't play any further part in the game. Meantime, here's Sheringham, and it's just wide. Scholes over the top for Jordi Cruyff, and a wonderful save from Neil Sullivan. And what an introduction to the game that could have been for Cruyff, just on for the injured Giggs. Silvestre in space. Having a little run at Kenny Cunningham. Still Silvestre. Back it goes to Yapstam. Scholes sizing one up. Spectacular save from Neil Sullivan. Berg. Jordi Cruyff. Oh, he's got his cross in, and Sullivan is stretching this time, and somehow Dwight York, falling backwards, saw it go horribly wide. Hartson. And Carl Court is onside here. Carl Court with a wonderful chance for Wimbledon. And Taibbi keeps Manchester United in the hunt for points. Jordi Cruyff, Paul Scholes. Is this the moment for United? Oh, yes it is! And it's Jordi Cruyff, the man who missed out on treble glory last season when he was on loan to Celta Vigo. He makes his mark this season on as a first half sub for Giggs. United needed a wake-up call, and the call comes from Jordi Cruyff. It's 1-1. Cruyff. And Cruyff trying to feed Scholes, and he in turn feeds Irwin. Oh, it's going to just go away from Andy Cole, who did very well to keep it in, and he might be in here anyway. Blocked by Sullivan. Now there's no flag here, as Jupp put Jason Newell in, and Taibbi has saved the day for Manchester United.
If not the results. Today they look good from the moment Marcus Gale hit the crossbar in the first 5 minutes. And nobody looked better than John Hartson, back from suspension. Trond Anderson's deep cross flicked on. Hartson took full toll of Bradford's casual marking. The Welsh striker was in a mood to have a go from anywhere. And have a go he brilliantly did, only to be denied a goal by an assistant referee. The official, like the camera, was not square on. Any offence was not obvious. Hartson seemed as much bewildered as disappointed. But then Jason Newell's fine pass gave Kenny Cunningham a chance to demonstrate his crossing and Hartson his heading. However, having monopolised the half, the Dons dozed. Lee Mills scored to send Bradford in with half-time hope. Wimbledon for a while grew introspective, but this was Hartson's day, an indomitable performance capped by the run and cross from which Carl Court headed home. The scorer knew where gratitude was due. 3-1 scarcely reflected Wimbledon's superiority. Bradford simply earned marks for trying. But when Dean Winders found the target literally with the game's last kick, we were left with a scoreline that was considerably less super than the performance.
Gerald Simstat and Sue Thurl reporting. Leeds stay top, that's 6 Premiership victories in succession for David O'Leary and 9 in all competitions. Manchester United are still a point behind. Arsenal are up 2 places to third, but Sunderland can go above them if they beat Aston Villa on Monday. Leicester are now 5th after their 3rd league win in a row. It's as you were for the bottom 3. Sheffield Wednesday still only have 1 win from 11 games. Newcastle haven't picked up a point away from St James's Park. Wimbledon move up 2 places to 15th after their first win at Selhurst Park.
Much more hope around Hillsborough this afternoon, given the opening to the game that Wednesday managed. They need to regain some of that first half momentum, because victory is by no means safe. Here's Roberts. Nolan. Alexanderson. Wimbledon have now gone 25 games without keeping a clean sheet. 12 of them this season, 13 last. It's not a healthy record. Something that the new manager hasn't been able to address yet. De Bilder. Alexanderson. There's Booth! Good chance for 3. Perhaps get the weight of goals that a centre forward should, Andy Booth. He gets in some very promising positions though. Danny Wilson knows what the feeling of relegation is like from his time with Barnsley. Here's Rudy. Kimball. Need to switch it again onto that left foot. Actually forced to pass with the right, and look what happened. And that's a foul. De Bilder. He looks a different player today. The shot-shy individual who's laboured through the opening weeks of the Premier League season. Amazing what a goal can do. And what's just as encouraging for Wednesday is the fact that he and Jonk seem to be on the same wavelength. Most of their better moments have involved those two players. Quickly taking Jonk free kick, creating the chance for De Bilder to have the shot on goal. Danny Wilson has kept faith. Walker. Kimball waited for the ball. De Bilder was in more of a hurry. Jonk. Sonner. Nolan. This is good from Wednesday. It's Alexanderson! And Thatcher will clear the ball after Sullivan had made the block to deny the Swede. Worrying for Wimbledon just how easily Sheffield Wednesday are getting through. For both these clubs, League Cup duty is next. Sheffield Wednesday have Nottingham Forest visiting here. Wimbledon play Sunderland in the third round. And then in Premier League terms, Wednesday's next engagement is a visit to Leeds. Here's Petter Rudy. Can he make it 3? Oh, he can! With his weaker foot too. And suddenly, Sheffield Wednesday look like a football team again. A much more cohesive unit. And they're being directed on the pitch, at least, by Wim Jonk, who's had a hand to play in all 3 goals. Rudy finding the angle across the keeper. Ewell. Des Walker. Sheffield Wednesday have now doubled their tally of Premier League goals for the season in the course of just a little more than an hour. And here's De Bilder looking for another. Would that Sheffield Wednesday could play Wimbledon every week. Thatcher. Here's Earl. Thatcher's cross. Fairly worthy of that description. We've majored on the woes of Wednesday, but the travails of Wimbledon need to be focused upon as well. They don't look a happy bunch under Egil Olsen. So much attention has been focused on his idiosyncrasies, the fact that he's a Marxist, that he wears wellies when he's watching his team play football. The bare facts state that Wimbledon have won only once under his management. Cunningham. Out by Cernicek. Not particularly well. Carl Court. And Rudy has it back for Wednesday. De Builder. He's outpaced Blackwell. Blackwell's done well, but not well enough. De Builder's second, and Sheffield Wednesday have scored 4. And at long last, the followers of Wednesday can look forward to a Premier League win. Danny Wilson can barely suppress a smile. He must feel that he has found a striker of some worth. Even if it's taken far too long for De Builder to show precisely what he's made of. There will surely, though, be sterner tests ahead than this. Gilles De Builder with 2. Now has 3 for the season. Activity down on the bench. Simon Donnelly is being prepared, and Alan Wiley called in for a conversation by Paul Durkin before we get the game underway again. There was some concern on the referee's part at the amount of time that Wednesday were taking to get Donnelly ready. Ian Nolan. We want 5 is the chant. Alexanderson. And it's Wednesday showing the sort of desire more normally associated with their visitors. Gale. Here comes the Wednesday change. Frank Barlow, the assistant, having the final few words with Simon Donnelly, the former Celtic man, who's going to replace Danny Sonner. There's a former midfield man himself here. Danny Wilson will have appreciated the shift of work that Sonner's put in. Wimbledon's record is going to read 1 win, 5 draws and 4 defeats in just a couple of minutes' time when the final whistle goes. On Wednesday, at last, we'll be able to register in the wins column in the English Premier League this season. At the 10th attempt. Walker. Wednesday trying to play their way out from the back with Booth. And now Rudy. Here's Alexanderson. De Builder! Not too far away from a hat-trick. And there's a smile back on those Wednesday faces. Andy Booth is being replaced just for the last few moments of this game by the Dutchman Gerald Sibon. of those recruited supposedly to take Wednesday to the next level by Danny Wilson. At least they've found a level. Whistler's gone. And here comes Alan Wiley to signify the amount of additional time to be played. His moment in the spotlight and he's enjoying it. Thatcher. Rudy. Well, it had got to the stage where Wednesday were approaching every fixture with a degree of fear about what lay in store. Hopefully worries like that will be banished by today's performance and the result. And it may well be that they'll look back on this particular Saturday afternoon at Hillsborough as a turning point in their season. The builder. Yonk. Oh, and Sibon! Wednesday have completed a nap hand. And everything is coming together. About 9 matches too late. But it is only enough in the season that they can still put a run together that can lift them out of trouble. And that's got to be their hope off the back of this. Yonk has been involved in 4 of their 5 goals now. Quality performer on the World Cup stage, Wim Yonk, setting up the final goal for Gerald Sibon, and to a resounding cheer, the final whistle goes. Sheffield Wednesday 5, Wimbledon 1. Wednesday's season starts here.
Wimbledon did at least get a point, if only just. Despite totally dominating the game, they trailed Southampton after Marian Fahar's 67th minute strike. But with the clock ticking away, their pressure finally told. Marcus Gale with a goal that means the Dons have only lost 1 game in their last 10. World Cup.
Ball forward from Ewell to Marcus Gale with the volley, and that's a tremendous goal for Wimbledon. So Leicester a goal down after 20 minutes. And it's 1-0. Tony Cottee. Brilliantly constructed goal for Leicester City. Tony Cottee with a typical poacher's goal, right place at the right time. It's 1-0 after 21 minutes. There have been signs for Wimbledon that Carl Court and John Hartson are forming quite a potent partnership. 8 goals so far this season for Court and 7 for Hartson. And Hartson really hasn't shown his best form yet since his £7.5 million move from West Ham, and that very clearly a Wimbledon transfer record. That ball slips to Emil Heskey, pushes into the box, and there of course is Tony Cottee to finish. A dreadful defensive blunder by Wimbledon, seized upon by Emil Heskey, finished by Tony Cottee. So 8 for the season for Tony Cottee.
Egil Olsen says his side were unlucky not to chalk up their first away win since day 1 of this season. Marcus Gale could have won it, so could Carl Court or Jason Ewell. On this form though, the Dons will give someone a good hiding very soon. This is Damon Green for London Tonight.
В эфире классика футбола. На 7 ТВ лучшие матчи английской премьер-лиги. 4 декабря 1999 года мы отправляемся в Лондон, где на стадионе Солхерст-парк столичный Уимблдон в матче 17-го тура принимал Уотфорд. 14 тысяч зрителей. Сезон 99-2000 годов. Главный арбитр матча Алан Уайли, который судит премьер-лигу с 99-го года. Ну а это Джон Хартсон, один из нападающих столичного Уимблдона. Переходим к составам и начнем с хозяев поля. Вратарь Нил Салливан, первый. Оборона, 6-й Бен Татчер, 3-й Алан Кимбл, 30-й Херман Хридерсон, 2-й Кенни Каннингем. Полузащитники, 11-й Маркус Гейл, 29-й Трун Андерсен, 8-й Робби Ирл, 10-й Джейсон Юэлл. В нападении 7-й Карл Корт, 8-й Джон Хартсон. Главный тренер норвежец Эгель Рогер Ульсон. Тот самый знаменитый норвежец, который великолепно работал с норвежской национальной сборной в 90-х годах. Ну а сейчас штрафной удар выполняют футболисты в желтых футболках. Игроки Уотфорда. После исполнения стандарта я оглашу состав гостей. Итак, выстраивается стенка. Алан Уайли, как всегда, в этом смысле придирчив. Штрафной удар. Попадают футболисты Уотфорда в стенку. Ну а дальше офсайд. Итак, Уотфорд. Вратарь Алек Чемберлен, первый. Оборона. Сегодня футболисты Уотфорда выставили 5 номинальных защитников. 36-й Нил Кокс, 4-й Роберт Пейдж, 5-й Стив Палмер, 6-й Пол Робинсон, 36-й Марк Уильямс. Это главный тренер Уотфорда, очень известный специалист Грэм Тейлор, который работал с национальной сборной Англии в начале 90-х и который руководил англичанами на Евро-92. Но об этом чуть позже. Полузащитники: 8-й Эмика Хайт, 10-й Ричард Джонсон, 14-й Нордин Уотер. И в нападении французы: 7-й Феликс Мишель Нгош и 21-й Ксавье Гравлен. Главного тренера Грэма Тейлора я уже вам представил. Теперь стандарт у ворот Уотфорда. Будут выполнять его футболисты Уимблдона. 15-я минута матча. Вы видели знаменитого полузащитника Маркуса Гейла, 11-го номера. А это Херман Хридерсон, центральный защитник Уимблдона, игрок сборной Исландии. Итак, подача в штрафную. Удар! Удар по воротам. И тут что будет? Хридерсон назад. Корт. Гол. Капитан Уимблдона на 15-й минуте в заварушке во вратарской гостей все-таки сориентировался верно. Карл Корт, 15-я минута. Сначала удар Хридерсона принял на себя один из защитников. Ну а дальше серия рикошетов и гол Корта. Хартсон бьет. Здесь Хридерсон на подборе. Передача и гол. Гол Карла Корта. 15-я минута матча. Тут же футболисты Уотфорда отвечают своей атакой. Но хозяева очень внимательно играют в обороне и передачи в переднюю линию. Так вот, скажу, что сезон 99-2000 годов выдался неудачным для обеих команд. И Уимблдон, и Уотфорд по итогам чемпионата вынуждены были покинуть элиту английского футбола. Уимблдон оказался на 18-м месте, 33 очка. Уотфорд занял последнее 20-е, 24 очка. До сих пор эти команды выступают в низших дивизионах. Сейчас посмотрим. За этим ударом мяч идет выше за лицевую линию. Маркус Гейл бил поворотом гостей. Так вот, если Уотфорд играет во втором дивизионе в Лиге Чемпионшип, то Уимблдон переместился в город Милтон Кинс в самом начале 2000-х годов. Финансовые причины. Банально. Все очень банально, но тем не менее чрезвычайно обидно для болельщиков этой столичной команды, которая в 1988 году сенсационно обыграла в финале Кубка Англии Ливерпуль. За тот клуб играли великолепные футболисты Деннис Уайс, Винни Джонс, Стефано Коку. И вот лондонский Уимблдон был вынужден переместиться в небольшой Милтон Кинс, что в 70 километров от столичной арены Селхерст Парк. И вот так сейчас называется Милтон Кинс Донс. Но болельщики не успокоились. Болельщики истинного Уимблдона, столичного Уимблдона, они были чрезвычайно расстроены потерей команды и собрали деньги и создали свой клуб Уимблдон, который выступает в Исмианной лиге. Это 8-й уровень, можно сказать, 8-й дивизион в английской футбольной пирамиде. Ну все об Уимблдоне, о том, как эта команда выступает сегодня. Давайте посмотрим, как она играла тогда, в сезоне 99-2000 годов. Перед этим матчем Уотфорд занимал 19-ю позицию. Как вы видите, Уотфорд шел на протяжении всего чемпионата в таких явных, в записных аутсайдерах. А Уимблдон держался в середине турнирной таблицы. 14 место, 17 очков. Но разрыв с лидерами, конечно же, был огромен. Арсенал тогда после 17 матчей возглавлял турнирную таблицу. Сейчас момент опаснейший уже у ворот хозяев поля. Но не используют эту возможность гости. Так вот, Арсенал был впереди, 35 очков. Уимблдон 17. Разница велика. А вот, пожалуйста, в середине вы видите в очках вот этот джентльмен. Это тот самый Ульсен, который, кстати, работает и сегодня со сборной Норвегии. Ну а под его руководством в начале 90-х Норвегия выступала великолепно. Просто великолепно. Сейчас посмотрим за этой атакой. Удар поворотом выше. И впервые в своей истории норвежцы, в новейшей, подчеркиваю, в новейшей послевоенной истории сборная Норвегии попала в финальный турнир чемпионата мира, где выступала весьма и весьма неплохо. Ну а до войны норвежцы участвовали в финальном турнире второго чемпионата мира, третьего турнира чемпионата мира в 1938 году на полях Франции. Но сразу же сошлась с дистанции, проиграв будущим чемпионам мира итальянцам. Сейчас футболисты Уотфорда идут вперед. Передача. Нет, передача это не проходит на своего нападающего Феликса Мишеля Нгожа. И снова на подборе футболисты Уимблдона. В середине поля командует Робби Ирл, Трун Андерсон. Очень опытные футболисты. И мяч уходит за лицевую линию. Центральный защитник на ваших экранах — это Марк Уильямс, игрок сборной Северной Ирландии. Кстати, недавно завершил свою карьеру в возрасте 37 лет. За сборную Северной Ирландии сыграл 34 матча. Джон Хартсон, очень известный валлиец, выступал он против сборной России в отборе чемпионата Европы. Удар по воротам и второй мяч! Второй мяч в воротах Уотфорда. 2-0. 2-0. Выигрывают хозяева поля. Это Ирл. Забивает гол известнейший футболист. Ирл, капитан Уимблдона. Робби Ирл. Кстати, выступал он за сборную Ямайки. Ну, родился он в Англии, а затем принял приглашение Федерации футбола Ямайки и выступал на чемпионате мира 98 года. Когда сборная Ямайки пробилась в финальный турнир, то тогда Федерация футбола этой страны бросила клич по всему миру, стала собирать футболистов, которые имеют такие ямайские корни. Но большинство из них, естественно, проживало в Великобритании. Они с удовольствием приняли это приглашение. И, кстати, очень неплохо смотрелись во французском чемпионате 98 года. Кстати, он забил, между прочим, первый гол, исторический гол за сборную Ямайки. этот гол. Первый в истории национальной сборной Ямайки в финальных турнирах чемпионата мира. И вот, пожалуйста, еще один момент. Но здесь положение вне игры. Положение вне игры. С удовольствием Корт добил мяч в сетку. Но прежде чем наносить этот удар, нужно было подумать. Алан Уайли сейчас просто пожалел. Давайте посмотрим. Видите, вот в момент передачи Карл Корт оказывается в офсайде на самой линии вратарской. Он оказался перед вратарем один. Офсайд. Алан Уайли сразу же свистнул, увидев отмашку бокового арбитра. И Пол Робинсон с мячом. Футболисты Уотфорда пытаются ответить ударом на удар. Но не слишком у них это получается. Уотфорд клуб известный. Известный прежде всего не тем, что его президентом долгие годы был знаменитый Элтон Джон. Знаменитый, даже можно сказать, легендарный рок-певец, который, по сути, возродил Уотфорд. Именно он стал президентом в конце 70-х годов прошлого столетия о Уотфорде и пригласил на пост главного тренера Грэма Тейлора, который за несколько сезонов поднял этот клуб из 4-го дивизиона до 1-го. В первый же сезон Уотфорд под руководством Грэма Тейлора завоевал 2-е место. Потрясающий результат. Именно поэтому Грэм Тейлор и был впоследствии приглашен на пост главного тренера сборной Англии. Сейчас удар поворотом, и мяч идет чуть выше. Завершается первый тайм. Джон Хартсон. Я не успел сказать о нем, что он играл в плей-офф квалификации Евро-2004. Вы помните, он выступал. Ну, правда, тогда он уже был абсолютно лысый, играя за сборную Уэльса против сборной России. 0-0 в Москве и 0-1 в Кардифе. Итак, Уотфорд в гостях у Уимблдона. 4 декабря 1999 года. Пока впереди хозяева поля 2-0. Голы забили Карл Корт и Ирл. Мы снова в Лондоне на стадионе Селхерст Парк 4 декабря 1999 года. На матче 17-го тура английской премьер-лиги столичный Уимблдон принимает Уотфорд. После первого тайма 2-0. Впереди хозяева поля, футболисты Уимблдона. На 15-й минуте счет открыл Карл Корт. Удвоил его на 32-й Робби Ирл. Кстати, вот этот самый стадион Селхерст Парк, он не является родной ареной для лондонского Уимблдона. Он принадлежит другому столичному клубу Кристал Пэлас. Это вот одна была из причин того, что Уимблдон покинул премьер-лигу. Не только финансовые трудности, но и проблемы с домашней ареной. По регламенту премьер-лиги стадион должен быть своим у клуба. Он не должен его делить с каким-то другим объединением. И должен вмещать не меньше 15 тысяч. Ну вот у Уимблдона в тот момент случился не только финансовый кризис, но и со стадионом были огромные просто проблемы. До сих пор, как я вам сказал, Уимблдон выступает, родной Уимблдон, тот самый Уимблдон с родным названием, играет в Исмян-лиге. Атакуют футболисты Уотфорда. Ну а Милтон Кинс Донс, который возглавляет итальянец Роберто Ди Маттео, выступает в 3-м дивизионе английской лиги. Сейчас рвался вперед Пол Робинсон к воротам Уимблдона, но эта атака была прервана. Выпрыгивает Джон Хартсон. Передача в переднюю линию не получается. Пока игра ни у той, ни у другой команды во втором тайме. Свисток Алана Уайли, который фиксирует нарушение правил со стороны хозяев поля. Шмели — это прозвище гостей. Шмели идут вперед. Они атакуют. И желтая карточка сейчас будет предъявлена. Алан Уайли подзывает Робби Ирла и награждает того горчичником. Алан Уайли с 99-го года судит премьер-лигу, а в 2006 году вообще установил уникальные достижения, но там, правда, такие были предвходящие обстоятельства, довольно-таки интересные. Но, тем не менее, Алан Уайли пока остается один из немногих в истории английского футбола судей, которые в один сезон обслуживали финальные матчи Кубка Англии и Кубка Английской лиги. Вот так. Снова идут вперед шмели. Получается у них эта атака и пас. Пас туда вперед. Это делал передачу Джейсон Юэлл. Не прошла эта передача, но вот сейчас подача. И Хартсон! Ну как же так? Мне показалось, что Хартсон не использует этот момент. Потому как Алек Чемберлен вроде бы парирует, но настолько сильно валиец пробил. А Робби Ирл уточняет: так ты сколько в этом сезоне забил? Напомним, что Хартсон в сезоне 99-2000 годов забил 9 голов. Да, этот гол для него вот на тот самый момент, на 4 декабря 99 года был только третьим, а всего 9. Тут же бросаются снова футболисты в желтых футболках. Странно, что Уимблдон и Уотфорд вылетели из премьер-лиги как раз вот в том сезоне. Но прежде всего эта странность касается Уимблдона. Состав-то какой? Салливан, Татчер, Кимбл, Хрейдерсон, Каннингем, Гейл, Андерсон, Ирл, Юэлл. Это все футболисты национальных сборных. Ямайки, Уэльса, других стран, Исландии, Норвегии. Вот тот же Хрейдерсон, основной игрок сборной Исландии. Тон Андерсон, основной игрок сборной Норвегии. Но не получилось, не срослось у Ульсона в тот сезон. Его квалификация, конечно же, не подвергается сомнению. Сборная Норвегии в 90-е годы была очень грозной силой. От нее терпели поражения такие гранды, как Англия, Италия, Швейцария, Чехословакия. В общем, натерпелась Европа, футбольная Европа, с возрождением норвежцев вот в эти годы. 3-0. И вновь атакуют футболисты Уимблдона и забивают. Юэлл. 4-0. 4-0. Вот так. У нас идет уже 67-я минута. Юэлл жестко его атаковал. А Марк Уильямс разворачивается. Юэлл и бьет не сильно, но очень точно. Джейсон Юэлл, воспитанник Уимблдона. Кстати, вот Джейсон Юэлл тоже выступал, как и Ирл, за сборную Ямайки. Нам показывают Ульсона. Конечно же, это бальзам на душу после череды чувствительных поражений. Футболисты Уимблдона наконец-то одерживают вот такую крупную победу. Накануне вот этого матча 4 декабря футболисты Уимблдона сыграли в ничью с Миддлсбро, а еще раньше проиграли Лестер Сити со счетом 1-2. Но, правда, вот на тот момент, как я уже говорил, Уимблдон шел весьма и весьма неплохо. Катастрофа случилась в конце чемпионата. Уже, правда, без Ульсона. Его заменил другой тренер, исполняющий обязанности выполнял ассистент Ульсона, которого уволили из клуба. Но вот катастрофическая концовка, ну сами посмотрите, 10 туров подряд поражения при одной ничьей. Вот так играл Уимблдон в конце чемпионата, и не мудрено, что Уимблдон вылетел из премьер-лиги. И вообще самое, что любопытное, вот посмотрите на турнирную таблицу, на итоговую турнирную таблицу сезона 99-2000 годов. Уимблдону не хватило до спасительного 17-го места, которое занял Брэдфорд Сити, всего лишь 3 очка. Это несмотря на кошмарную, катастрофическую, как я уже сказал, концовку. Поражения, сплошные поражения при одной ничьей. Ужас. И тем не менее Уимблдон мог спастись. Ну, а Уотфорд, что касается Уотфорда, здесь, конечно же, ситуация была диаметрально противоположной. Уотфорд, как я уже сказал, на тот момент шел в зоне вылета, но он фактически в зоне вылета находился с самого начала чемпионата, который, кстати, начал поражением от Уимблдона на своем поле 7 августа со счетом 2-3. Уотфорд уступил Уимблдону. Вот так начался чемпионат. Ну а затем поражение от Сандерленда. Кошмарная просто осень с сентября. Вот команда не могла хотя бы за очко зацепиться до ноября. 7 поражений подряд. И вот, пожалуйста, 5-й гол в воротах Уотфорда. Счет становится 5-0. 5-0. Этот гол записывает на свой счет Маркус Гейл. Объятия, поздравления. Понятное дело, что очень приятно хотя бы вот на аутсайдере отыграться. А Маркус Гейл, между прочим, выступает и сегодня за Уимблдон. Вот за тот самый Уимблдон, который прозябает в высмеянной лиги 8-го уровня. 8-й дивизион. Меняет Ульсон Карла Корта. Ну, по ходу матча тренеры произвели несколько замен. Появился Энди Робертс в составе Уимблдона и Мартин Андерсен. Не Андерсон, а Андресен. Он заменил Кимбла. У Уотфорда тоже Грэм Тейлор произвел перестановки в составе. И сейчас мы с вами видим, как идет вперед Нордин Вотер. Очень настойчивый правый вингер, представляющий Голландию. Темнокожий футболист из Суринама. Он действительно родился в Суринаме, затем вместе с родителями переехал в Голландию. У таких, что ли, выходцев из этого карибского государства очень много. И в составе сборной Голландии мы с вами можем встретить выходцев из Суринама, из этой заморской колонии Нидерландов. Пытается еще как-то по инерции атаковать Уотфорд, но 5-0. Всем все ясно. 14 тысяч собралось в тот день на Селхерст-парк, и немало, кстати, было поклонников Уотфорда. Дело все в том, что Уотфорд находится от Лондона всего-то в часе езды. Есть специальная такая ветка железнодорожная. Можно добраться до Уотфорда порядка за 55-58 минут. В районе часа ехать на метро из центра Лондона до этого небольшого городка. Штрафной удар бьют футболисты Уотфорда. Уже Алан Уайли посматривает на свой секундомер. 5-0. Уимблдон наконец-то набирает свои заветные 3 очка. Но, повторюсь, кошмар начнется чуть позже. Он начнется в марте. Вот эта вот весна, это сумасшествие мартовское, которое и сведет на нет все усилия Уимблдона в середине чемпионата. Да, жуткая вещь. 10 подряд неудач. 9 поражений из них при 1 ничьей. Ну, куда тут? Разве можно удержаться в элите английского футбола? Затем неурядицы, и команда переезжает в Милтон Кинс. Ну, а Уотфорд сражается во 2-м дивизионе, и болельщики этого клуба еще не оставили надежд на то, что Уотфорд вновь появится в элите английского футбола. В последний раз Уотфорд выступал в премьер-лиге в сезоне 2006-2007 годов. Занял опять-таки 20-е последнее место и благополучно вылетел во 2-й дивизион. Ну а 4 декабря 1999 года Уотфорд вторично в чемпионате уступил Уимблдону. На сей раз 0-5. В составе лондонской команды голы забивали Карл Корт 15-я, Робби Ирл 32-я, Джон Хартсон 61-я, Джейсон Юэлл 67-я, а Маркус Гейл 78-я. Уимблдон Уотфорд 5-0.
side. Canio, well fed, and Frank Lampard! Lampard unmarked in the middle. Makes a little kiss from Joe Cole. And Paolo Di Canio, again the provider.
Murphy was in the corner, was in the shot, it's a goal! It's Michael Owen! He scores against the team it all started against when he was fresh out of finishing school. Free kick to Wimbledon, taken quickly on the blind side of Liverpool defence. Cunningham chips the ball in. Who's going to get there? It's an equaliser, Marcus Gale. Squeezing together, Smeeser's making himself a bit of a nuisance. It's going to be Patrick Berger who's going to take it, no doubt about that. Berger does! Oh, well taken! Caught that! Well, there's only one option. They left the ball to Patrick Berger. It's all yours, they said. And he chopped on it like a turkey leg. Moncho lofts the ball. Fowler puts the Wimbledon defenders off. Smeeser sneaks through. Fowler gets a chance! And Robbie Fowler scores a comeback goal! Remember me, he says. He may have been out for 3 months, but the predatory instincts are very much intact.
It was not the case, but it was not a bad header, but they all count on matter how they go in. It went a bad one, you know, last goal at Anfield, seeing this millennium, you know, in the Cup end, you know, so...
It did mean a lot to you, didn't it?
It was not a bad goal, it was just pleasing to be back.
On the first day of the Premiership in the new century, it's perhaps appropriate that Kevin Phillips returns from injury to make his 100th senior appearance for Sunderland. He still can't be sure whether he's scored 78 goals or 79 in his 2.5 seasons with them until the Premiership Committee adjudicates on one he's claiming from a match at Watford in November. But Wimbledon's top scorer, Carl Court, who also returns to the starting lineup today, is in no doubt how many he scored the last time Sunderland came to Selhurst Park. He got a hat-trick in a Worthington Cup tie in October. Wimbledon are without John Hartson, Robbie Earle, Alan Kimball, Dean Blackwell and Michael Hughes, so Chris Wilmot makes his Premiership debut at centre-back. Trond Andersen moves into midfield, not to be confused with his fellow Norwegian Martin Andresen, who gets his first start in the league up front. Sunderland's only previous Premiership visit here was on the day they were relegated in 1997, and today didn't start very well either. Goalkeeper Thomas Sorensen woke up with flu, so Andy Marriott comes in for his first league game of the season, and there's no goalkeeper on the bench. In fact, Sorensen, ever present this season until now, was tested when the team arrived at the ground, but he was so shaky he wasn't even well enough to be a substitute. So if anything happens to Marriott, whose last league game was at Grimsby last season, Niall Quinn would have to go in goal, as he has earlier in his career. Graham Poll starts a new century of league football in England, and Cunningham, the Wimbledon captain, plays the ball forward straight away to Andresen. Badir is in there between Gale and Court, and Haridason has come forward. Oh, flick by Court. Oh, well held by Marriott, his first test. And he was up to it. Good looking ball, Andresen. Jason Ewell. Good stop by Andy Marriott. Point blank, good save. Thatcher across to Andresen. First touch was good, and Ewell's effort blocked by the goalkeeper. It's a big match for Mick Harford, the Wimbledon coach. He has Sunderland connections, of course. Indeed, he was a fan of theirs as a boy. He's got some friends down from the northeast today. Quinn Looking for Phillips now then, the Sunderland tandem gets working. Summerby to the right. Taking on Thatcher here. Enough room for the cross. Quinn's coming in! And a hand by Sullivan. Scott broke well for him, good effort! Oh. Skidding wide of the far post. This was an effort which whizzed across the face of Andy Marriott's goal. Oh, shirt pulling surely on court, but here's Gale. Hooking it back in for Badir. Oh, well, Wimbledon were looking for the final strike there and didn't get it. Wimbledon. Oh, it wasn't well used by Andresen. Thatcher's got it back though. And gets it again from Anderson. Oh, and finds Andresen. Lovely play, caught. Wimbledon score. Sunderland have a man down injured while all that's happening, but Carl Court has put Wimbledon in front. They had the better of the last few minutes. Thatcher won the ball back, and Anderson and Andresen played a part in this move. Finally, Andresen turning very neatly against Steve Bold. 3 defenders, but he chips a glorious ball in, and Carl Court. But the referee must now go and speak to his assistant, because there was an incident in the build-up in the other half of the field where a Sunderland player, I think, might...
Haji and Chipo were absent due to African Nations Cup duty, as the Dons were the next team to leave Highfield Road with nothing, in a match City dominated from beginning to end.
Froggatt. Quite a bit of space in front of Froggatt. Might come through for Robbie Keane here. Good save, but I think the referee may have given a penalty. Handball on the edge of the area. Kenny Cunningham, who doesn't like the referee's decision, neither does Sullivan, the Wimbledon keeper. It's going to be a penalty to City. Gary McAllister against Neil Sullivan. McAllister to put the Sky Blues one up, and that's a very well taken penalty. Sullivan didn't get near it. Cool finish from McAllister. Now here's Anderson. Closed down by Palmer, but Anderson will keep going. Here's Gale with a turn, and it just goes wide. Good play from Gale. Punched away there by Sullivan. Court was racing through, but Headman gets there. And here's Gary McAllister. McAllister's through ball. Will come to Robbie Keane. He's through on the keeper. Can he keep his nerve? Oh, he tried to walk it in. He's got a second chance, and Robbie Keane won't miss from there. Sullivan thought he'd done enough. Robbie Keane relieved that he got a second opportunity. McAllister with the ball outside of his right boot. Ryderson might feel he should have done better with Russell there. And Robbie Keane, you'd bank on him to score 9 times out of 10. Just hit it straight at Sullivan, but got the opportunity to have a second try.
No problems at home against Southampton, it's just when they play them away that it all goes wrong. The same can be said for United's trips to Wimbledon. They've never got it right on the road against the crazy gang. This particular visit to Selhurst Park was to be no exception. Newcastle didn't take their chances, and then some sloppy defending gave Robbie Earle a bit of a gift to put the home side in front. Questions were asked about the marking as Marcus Gale headed home to seal a 2-0 win for the Dons.
Wimbledon, of course, with Neil Sullivan in goal. A tower of strength here, but for how much longer? It's a back four. Kenny Cunningham at right back, another highly rated Premiership performer. Trond Andersen, who played for Norway last week against his central defensive partner today, Iceland's Herman Hreidarsson. And Alan Kimball, a fine crosser of the ball from left back. In midfield, a tight central three. Walid Badir, the Israeli international. Robbie Earle, now in his 9th season with Wimbledon. And Jason Ewell, his 23rd birthday today. With Carl Court working down the right-hand side in Egil Olsen's system. And Marcus Gale balancing off on the left. There's one main attacker, and John Hartson, of course, still out. So Wimbledon call again on Carl Lieber. For Everton, Thomas Muir plays in the Premiership for the first time this season. A back four, all centre-halves by trade. Richard Dunn operating at right back. And in the middle, it's David Weir alongside that hardy annual Richard Gough. David Unsworth reverts to left back after playing in midfield against Preston in the Cup. In midfield, Nick Barmby is suspended, so Danny Cadamartri starts a Premiership game for the first time for a year. Don Hutchison missed training last week with a touch of tonsillitis. Mark Pembridge is moved infield today, and Michael Ball pushed forward from left back. Walter Smith kept Evertonians guessing, but American Joe Maxmore does start. Francis Jeffers withdrawn from the firing line today. Kevin Campbell is here, though, and he tore Wimbledon apart in August. And kept the side that beat Newcastle, and they've kept the same substitutes as well. They're still missing several senior players, including Ben Thatcher, who is both injured and suspended. Everton's back up on the bench while John Collins on his way back after a shin injury, not regarded as being totally match sharp. Well, it may not be the West End, but Bill Kenwright hoping for a successful show from Everton today. There's no doubt that the move behind the scenes have stabilised things for the Evertonians. 2 points between the two sides in Everton's favour. It was 4-0 to Everton against Wimbledon in August. That match came at a time when Wimbledon were still failing in their comprehension of the new methods. Egil had only just landed at the club. Well, different preparations for the two teams today. FA Cup exertions for Everton last weekend, but also the excitement of progressing to the quarter-finals, and another home draw as well against Aston Villa. But Everton, well, they won here last season, and as I say, they gave the Dons a real drubbing at Goodison in August. We shall see. And they're taking on one of the FA Cup quarter-finalists who have found wins harder to come by in the Premiership. Just 2 in the last 14 league games for Walter Smith's side. It's a blustery afternoon. In truth, the weather has worsened considerably in the last couple of hours. Problems, but Danny Cadamartri has an opportunity to impress today. Coming from the right of midfield, in goes Joe Maxmore, still battling for it. Kevin Campbell's in there, comes to Pembridge. A fine block by the Wimbledon skipper. Pembridge with the corner. Oh! Is that in? We look across at the assistant on the far side who kept his flag down, and Neil Sullivan breathes again. Kerry Richards didn't see anything to flag for. The ball didn't cross the line in his mind. Andy?
Yeah, he's right on the flag. You see him, he steps away just for about a yard, But as it drops, well, his body's over it from the angle we're at there. But you can see Joe Maxmoor's not 100% confident, Martin, and he turns round, he's anxious. Oh goodness, it's a close call. Benefit the doubt to the goalkeeper. I think he got it right.
Cunningham. Gale waiting on the edge of the area, hoping that Ewell would tee it up for him after a good flick from Carl Lieburn.
You mentioned the blistering conditions, I think.
And now Ewell. Inviting Cunningham to come forward. Caught. Big challenge on him by Unsworth. And Campbell trying to dart in beyond Trond Andersen. The ball got it forward well into space behind the Wimbledon central defenders. Ball going in again. He's returning to the Premiership starting role after a long absence today. First time since November, although he did begin the Preston match in the FA Cup last weekend. Ewell. And then defended David Weir. It was a ball that was driven deep by Kimball, just too high for Hreidersen.
A little unusual. Normally Kimball puts it right on the money.
Ball. It's quite an adventurous selection in midfield, you feel, by Walter Smith. Cadamarteri, of course, perhaps better known as a striker, although the feeling at Goodison Park is that he could carve out a career for him in this wide midfield role. Michael Ball will like to get forward down the left-hand side. Good width. Gale. Richard Dunn biting in. Cunningham. Then calling for a deep cross. Comes off the arm of Ball. Seen as handball. Good hold-up play by Campbell again. Shot in outlet so far. Danny Cadamarteri for Everton. When he comes infield, well, it's harder to predict maybe. He's eager to impress. Had a spell in London on loan with Fulham. Hutchison. Good reach by Trond Andersen. Unsworth. Ball. They're stopping the supply through the centre from Pembridge. Campbell. Moore.
That's decent. Little link going, don't they, Wimbledon, Martin? They never get disappointed if nothing's dropping for them. You know, a lot of teams might get a little bit disappointed, frustrated. It never happens at Wimbledon. They just play percentages. They keep knocking on the door, just hoping that that one time it will drop for one of them.
Hutchison. A little bit of revenge maybe in the challenge from Badir, but Everton going on. Moore's header. Either at goal or glancing into the park. Gale will reach this. And towards Lieburn. Jimble's corner. Goff got a foot to it. Ewell trying to play it into the crowd and get it back. It's a situation where you might have expected him to shoot. Gale. Earl trying to get there. Pembridge beat him to it. Cadamarteri to try and counter-attack here. Again, more available for Everton. It's a bit of a heavy touch by Dunn. And now Ewell to get a foot in. Great header by Hreidersen. Well, it's this sort of contest that we expected. Certainly a physical side to it. Nothing to really upset the referee. Caught defending. Lieburn waiting for some support. Gets it from Cunningham. Everton are regrouping. Wimbledon really didn't shift the ball quickly enough from Leeburn. Here's Moore. Frank's gone up against Kevin Campbell. No goal.
No, just drifted in too early.
Short touch to Unsworth. Ball ahead of him, working Cunningham back, so there's more space for Unsworth to go into. Cross here towards Campbell. It's tempted Sullivan off his line. He's got a free kick, I think, but it's a decent ball.
Yeah, he didn't argue with the offside, but you can see how disappointed he is with this decision. He feels it's a pretty genuine challenge. I think he's right. I think he goes up for the ball. There's not a lot of contact there.
Here's Carl Court. Been a shortage of shots so far. Gale. Good work by Marcus Gale. He's passed Weir as well. Deflected out by Ball, and it's gone to a player in yellow, but Hutchison was a bit tentative, unusual for him. Even the second time he kept it short and Everton have lost it again. And Cunningham, who's never scored for Wimbledon, hooks for the cross. It'll reach Gale. That was a wasted opportunity to keep Everton in some fear of going one goal behind here at Selhurst Park. Ball. Steaming forward initially in support of ball. It's a good cross. Cadamatri came in unmarked and onside
and should score. Simple as that. This is a wonderful ball from left to right from David Unsworth, measured, deliberate, and when you're 7 yards out you don't have to jump, but put your head on it and direct it. That's not a great header from Danny Cadamatri. He should have been making Sullivan's job, well, and an enviable one. He should have been picking the ball out the net. It's as simple as that. Beautifully measured. That's a great opportunity. He knows it.
Arthur Smith steered Everton to victory here at Wimbledon last season, and Cadamatri scored in that game. Ball.
Well, Everton are worth a goal lead, man, I have to say.
Ball. Occupied in other parts of the pitch, and Unsworth prepared to go forward again. Campbell to use his strength here. Good block by Trond Anderson.
There's some tackles at daft tackle.
That sort of eventuality. Cunningham. Now caught. He's gifted with the ball at his feet. Unsworth turning quickly, but not clearing far enough for Everton. Cunningham's cross. Maybe lead.
He did have to deal with it.
Right, just across the line. Hutchison. Campbell. Anderson's complaining, but that's the hurly-burly of the Premiership, I think. Campbell.
Why?
Weir in the thick of that. Flag has gone up. Feel that physically Kevin Campbell's getting the edge over the Norwegian. Gale. Caught. Well, where you'd expect to find him again. Muir's rather patted it away. Cunningham to put it back towards Robbie Earle. It didn't quite drop for Leeburn.
Golf just...
Earle. Being very eager at times, Everton. Cadamatri. Moore. Pembridge. Still Pembridge. And they wanted to pass. It never really looked as though he was shaping for a shot.
That was a chance. It was a lovely break, and they had men forward, committed in numbers. Everton did. 4 right along the edge of the 18-yard box for Pembridge.
Cadamatri.
Oh, referee.
Wait.
Certainly didn't do Everton any favours, the whistle.
Yes, a blow to Everton in more ways than one. Hutchison. Now Dunn. Hutchison reading the direction of Anderson's header. Ryderson, another indication of the steel that he's brought to Wimbledon's back line. Ewell. Give and go with Robbie Earl. Campbell showing no lingering effects of that bang and the tackle with Dunn earlier on. Cadamartri moves away at pace again. It's not an easy pitch on which to dribble the ball for too long. Goff. Now Unsworth. This is, as we pointed out earlier, a game which will have very much appreciated rewards for a winner today, given the tightness at the bottom of the table. It's a bad game to lose. Hutchison. Campbell. Flag has gone up again.
And they do hold a good
before half-time. Pembridge. Unsworth on the move again. One last Everton attack before the interval. Goff. Pembridge. Hutchison. Leeburn trying to deny him. Looked more space than Wimbledon would have wanted him to have. Unsworth. It's over more. It won't reach Campbell. Pembridge. Maybe appreciating that. But we have reached the interval at Selhurst Park, with Neil Sullivan having an early scare, but it is Wimbledon 0, Everton 0. Egil Olsen will tell you that Wimbledon will be stronger in a month or so's time. Everton with more to be pleased about, one would have thought, in the first. Pembridge. And Everton conspicuous in the number of players they've got forward.
Yeah, that little thing, that little sort of Ewell, Earl and Badia.
Headed away by Marcus Gale. Unsworth, certainly on a hot streak when it comes to goal scoring. Ewell. No real width. A little give and go with Leeburn. Here's Court. It was always, as you could see from this angle, trying to pass wide of the near post.
Yeah, both from Wimbledon as an attacking force that we saw in the whole of the first half. But for Richard Goff, they might well have taken an early lead in this match. Would have been second best for most of it. It's a little bit too high, too deep. It never looked like going out, but what a great piece of defending this is. Look at Goff, he suddenly sees there might be a problem, and he gets himself in between court and the ball.
A wonderful servant he has been. Ryderson. Pembridge trying to take it out at pace, but he ran into Jason Ewell. Leeburn. Court. Trying to place the ball into a decent area then. Didn't come off for Wimbledon. Out come Everton with Hutchison and Cadamartri. Kendall has the back pedal again. Sullivan. Beaten to it by Kevin Campbell. Everton have some reward for the purpose in their play here at Selhurst Park.
I think the weather plays a part, Mark. I don't think this is a great ball in. He kind of scuffs it, and you watch it hold up in the wind. The goalkeeper thinks it's coming all the way through. He suddenly realises it's dying in front of him. And Campbell just needs the merest of touches on this. And that's all he gets, it just helps the ball on. The goalkeeper's committed himself. You watch it drop, look at the ball drop in front of the goalkeeper. Touch is all it's needed. Everton have a very deserved lead.
Phil Kenwright, the true blue, now at the top of the club, joining in the applause for the opening goal at Selhurst Park. Ewell. Wonder how Egil Olsen might think about changing this, Andy. Against Sunderland, he played Marcus Gale through the middle. That might be a switch that could happen. On goes Kadamatri.
Well, you do think he has to change it. I think Lee Burns, he's tried and worked, but he has been relatively ineffective.
Hutchison. Kadamatri. Dunn's gone ahead of him this time. Away, ran into Kadamatri's space. Kadamatri's cross. More coming in with great determination. Kadamatri is certainly in the mood. And Kimball left cursing and chasing again. Moore and Campbell in the centre. Hutchison. Dunn. Headed out by Kenny Cunningham. Nicely guided down by Lieber. Taken on by Gale. He could switch it to the right if he had the sort of picture of the pitch that we had from up here. It was much easier to spot that Kenny Cunningham was in space. But it is at grass level. Anderson. Continue to pass it in confident manner. Everton on a difficult surface against the type of opposition that tries to get in and around. Gale again. Pembridge has done well, and Campbell can keep Everton with forward momentum here with help from Joe Max Moore. Kadamatri. Cross towards Campbell. 2-0, same combination. And Wimbledon have no answer to Danny Kadamatri on the right and Kevin Campbell in the air.
Simplicity itself. Kimball is so unsure, Martin, that you look how far away he is. Look at him. Look how far he stands off Kadamatri. You can't allow people a chance to cross like that. You've got to close tighter to him, but he's in such a torrid time. Oh, what a lovely ball in, but look at that, plumb in the middle of goal, totally unmarked. When you're playing with this confidence and you've already scored, well, the heading in the end's a very good one from Kevin Campbell. Keepers, no chance.
The Campbell-Kadamatri combination striking twice in 8 minutes. And it's very much going Everton's way here in South London. Goff having it run, moving into midfield.
Get back, so I can be shouting.
Ryderson.
Well, I have to say, Mark, as you said, I was talking.
Jason Ewell. And Wimbledon need him and others to influence the proceedings here. Hutchison. Campbell. Moore's unmarked. Here's Joe Max. Wimbledon are being ripped apart here as they were at Goodison Park when Kevin Campbell played such a big part. Joe Max Moore, a recent recruit, but it's his third goal already.
What a ball from the skipper. What a ball that is from Hutchison. He had vision, awareness, perfectly weighted ball from Hutchison, perfectly weighted ball from Campbell. The rest is simple for Joe Max Moore. Wonderful goal. And you're right, Martin, Wimbledon are being ripped apart.
Well, the signs were there in the first half. Maybe not that we'd get a 3-goal margin, but that Everton were the better team in a goalless first half, and they have really shown that now on the scoreline. 2 scored by Campbell, a big part for him in the third. Egil Olsen came to the club, but he's dug in there, done his work, and they're short of numbers really. So he's had some senior appearances recently, scored a goal in the Premiership against West Ham over the holiday period. But there's a big hole for Wimbledon to try and dig themselves out of here. And it's Olays from the travelling band of Evertonians.
No, it's not a time for showboat, Mark. No, it's a time for winning the match. Giving themselves a wonderful position to do it from.
Ball. Unsworth. Well, some teams reaching the FA Cup quarter-final might start to get a little bit distracted, even though that's a couple of weeks away. Everton in no position in the league table to let their minds wander, and they have been truly focused here. Out come Everton again. In fact, the percentages are on. One would think Everton scoring more. Campbell, they've got the bit between their teeth. Moore, done!
Lovely play again.
Caught. Work from Ardley. He was trying to get a bit of whip on that, and Pembridge. Campbell. Cadamarteri. Confidence oozing from every pore for Everton. Unsworth. Campbell. Here's Ardley. Now caught. John Anderson's made a run into the penalty area as well. That's a throw. Ardley. It's going to run away from court. Still needed claiming by Miura.
Yeah, the bend on the ball was always
trying to let it run. Again, the way it's gone for Wimbledon today. Hutchison won a 4 forward for Everton here, using Campbell as the decoy in the end. Pembridge. Well, it is time maybe for 1 or 2 little party tricks.
Well, you could do that in the final third. There's nothing wrong with trying little tricks like that in the final third to get a ball in behind the back 4. He wasn't very far away from
that. Upset my friends at that level of the game. You know what I'm saying. Hutchison. Cadamarteri. Ross decided to join in further forward again. Hutchison. Watch it done. Pushing Kimball back. Campbell!
Oh, you just think that it's there for him, isn't it? The way he's played.
In many ways, it's a bigger difference. 31 than the 3 points suggest. 31 would have been quite comfortable. Wimbledon would have felt if they'd have won this game. And here they are looking at Kevin Campbell's offside. Well, that's a couple of times he's got it in when it hasn't counted to go with the 2 that have counted.
Again, just went a little early for me. I think he's looking along the line now. It's just this near side. Is Kimball playing him on? I think it's touch and go. Certainly went in behind the 2 centre-backs, but goodness me, that is another one that could easily have been allowed.
Cadamarteri coming back to life again. Hutchison. Very satisfying for Walter Smith. Change that he had to make. That's a loss of Barnby. Plumping for Cadamarteri, that's worked out well. He didn't have to leave out Francis Jeffers to rest him, but he's done that. And pairing of Joe Maxwell with Campbell and Really been sharp as tacks, the two of them. It's misjudged by Dunn. Andresen, caught! Corner. Marking wasn't great, Anderson.
One very important one we don't want you to miss.
Hey, they also know what happened to Sheffield Wednesday yesterday. Unsworth. Moore. Back to David Unsworth. Awkward for Trond Anderson. Gale. Cunningham's cross. Bounced off target by Martin Andresen.
There you go.
Now we are.
He reads our minds, the manager.
Don Hutchison, not booked today. Goes off, not to the dressing room. Maybe he wants to act as cheerleader for the time that remains, which is, as you can see, 6 minutes or so. Bill Kenwright with that broad grin, summing up Everton's mood. Abel Xavier comes into the midfield. And for Sky Digital viewers, the player cam now switches in that midfield to Mark Pembridge. Xavier's missed a fair bit of football recently through a virus. Cadamartri. Change of pace, lost Ewell. He's beaten Kimball, but he can't get past Haridason, not for the want of trying.
I think that's a free kick. I know defenders get away with it time and time again. And you know what they're doing, they're letting the ball run out, but we never look at this again. I just think as it's going out, that's the first one, and watch again. That's got to be a free kick. I mean, it protects it there, but just... Oh.
Good days against Wimbledon. They were the first team to send Wimbledon to a home defeat when they came into the top division in the mid-80s. Goals from a couple of pals of yours, Andy, Graham Sharp and Kevin Sheedy.
Yeah. I know them well.
Also, when Wimbledon won the cup, holders, they defended it the following season. Who did they get knocked out by? Everton in the quarter-finals.
It's been a pretty good season so far for playing them 4-0 at Goodison, 3-0 up here.
We play you every week, that's what the fans usually chant. Haven't heard that today. And again, Walter Smith getting a triumph and disaster with the same firm expression, not getting carried away. Have you ever seen him in extremes of anger?
Yes. I'm quite happy at times. Found a fiver once on the street, he was absolutely ecstatic.
Only a Scot could say that about a Scot. Andresen and Ardley and Ewell looking for a birthday goal. Gale.
Good defending, though, even at 3-0 up. Couple of minutes left, there were still plenty of yellow shirts prepared to get in the way of Jason Ewell as he was striking that.
Ardley's cross. Trying to get to it, the wind gusting the ball away from the Wimbledon man. And Graham Barber pointing in Everton's favour. Everton determined to deny Wimbledon right to the last. Ewell letting fly, and the ball didn't travel very far, did it? Andresen. This is Francis. Still a chance for Wimbledon to get the cross in. What a good touch that was by David Weir.
Well, that's the hardest kind of ball for a defender to deal with. He must be no more than 4 yards from his own goal. It's between him and his goalkeeper. Lovely defending. Nicely done.
Kimball's cross. On from Xavier. Pembridge cutely into the feet of Abel Xavier. There will be 2 extra minutes, and Wimbledon will just want to get this over with and get it out of their systems. But at times, Everton have turned this into an exhibition. Wimbledon came into the game hoping that they'd learned from their experience at Goodison Park, a painful experience then, but it's been just as painful today. The only difference really is the scoreline's not quite so emphatic, but very nearly so.
Could easily have been though, couldn't it?
Yeah. Xavier. Dunn happy to keep it close, and Goff. Back line have done well in the formative stages of the game. Worked hard in midfield, and when the chances came in the second half, the front men have taken them in some style.
Yeah, we haven't really seen a contest today in any sense of the word, Martin, but what we have seen is a pretty impressive performance from Everton away from home. All the wonder that their record away from home is so poor when you watch what they've produced today.
That 7-day break in Gran Canaria hasn't worked wonders for Wimbledon.
No doubt that will get a mention in the dressing room in the next couple of days.
Especially from those who've had to pay the bills. Xavier. Cadamartri. In front of the Everton fans again beneath us. Everton complete the double over the Dons for the first time in the Premiership, emphatically. Kevin Campbell, who did so well at Goodison Park in the reverse fixture in August, has scored 2 goals in quick succession here and set up the third for Joe Max Moore. And real worries for Wimbledon. Yesterday's results did not help them. Chelsea away, Manchester United here, their next 2 games. But great credit to Everton. They concentrated on the present and not the excitement of the future of their involvement in the last 8 of the FA Cup in a couple of weeks' time. They had a real sense of purpose today. Played well in the first half and took Wimbledon apart in the second. Final score, Wimbledon 0, Everton 3.
You two guys certainly played very well. Kevin, what was the importance of that win for you?
It was very important, I think, with the results yesterday. You know, we're starting to look over our shoulder a bit. Teams were starting to catch us up, winning underneath us. So it's very important we picked up 3 points there and, you know, get playing well.
Danny, a long time since you've started a Premiership game for Everton. How determined were you to do well?
As determined as I could be, you know. It's an important time for me. A couple of suspensions and injuries, you know, have given me the chance to get in there and try and give the manager a bit of a team selection problem. And all I can do is try and get in there and do the best I can and push everybody else.
Do you want to stay and do well? There was a time when you could have been away.
No, there's never been a time that I've wanted to get away at all. You know, people were saying when I went to Fulham that it was a possibility of a move and to rebuild my career, but it was really just to get me some match fitness really and try and get some sharpness under my belt to come back and hopefully push for a place.
Kevin, is there a chance of an England call, do you think? 12 Premiership goals now?
I don't know, I'm not really that worried about England at the moment. There's a lot of good strikers there and I'm way down the pecking order at the moment. So as long as I keep playing well for Everton, you never know, but I'm not counting my chickens.
Danny, the league position looks healthy now, but is the FA Cup the big target now?
I think both are just as equally as important, you know, 2 entrances to Europe. I think, you know, with a good wins like that against, you know, the teams that are going to push you hard, we've got to aim to get up the table and hopefully push for a place in the European spots. But the cup's a good chance for us as well, you know, and if we can go for both, then we can go for both. We'll just have to see what happens.
Did you enjoy picking Kevin out for the crosses?
Yeah, it's great to play with, you know, the likes of Kevin. You know, he's always on hand to score a few goals, and you know you're going to get a couple of goals from him. And it's just important for the team really to get around him and to help him out.
Well, Kevin's just pipped you for the Carling Man of the match. If you can give that to him, we're well played, both of you. Congratulations.
Gotta give it to Danny, I think. I think he deserves it. He played really well. There you go, Dan.
Very generous of you. Well done.
Cheers. Thank you.
What was the most satisfying thing about winning 3 points today for you?
Well, I think it was important for us. We've had a lot of draws in a lot of our matches, and we had to get back to trying to get a win. And we knew it would be a difficult match, the way Wimbledon play. And I felt pleased with the way we handled the game. We handled it very well in the early parts. Restricted Wimbledon to a few opportunities during the match. And I felt played very well over the piece.
Not many teams do the double over Wimbledon and score so many goals against them over the season. Have you found the secret?
No, I don't think so. No, I don't think we can say that. You have to work very hard. I felt our defenders played very well against the longer ball. We managed to pick up most of the ball that was knocked down. And in the first half, maybe we're a bit unfortunate maybe not to have one goal at least. The second half, once we got it, we settled down and played a bit. We were pleased with the result there.
With results yesterday, did you feel you had to win today?
I feel that we have to win every time we go out and play. I mean, I think that's the thing. There's a group of teams around the middle of the league that if you get a win, it can take you up. If you lose, then you drop right down. So you know, it's important for all the teams in that area to try and keep winning. And obviously, we're pleased to do so at a very difficult ground.
33. Have you got a target now that you want to reach for safety?
I don't think any team can pick that out. I think they've just got to concentrate and try and win. If we hadn't won today, you know, the gap between ourselves and the teams just at the bottom of the league, or just around the fringe of the relegation, was only a couple of matches. So we had to make sure that we tried to keep a big gap, and we've managed to do that.
Can you feel safe in the league now and then go full tilt for the FA Cup?
I don't think anybody can say that you feel safe. I think, as I said, when you're in the group of teams that we're in at the present moment, it's always difficult to achieve a result, and you've always got to work very hard and do well to get one. So you can go long runs where you don't get a victory. You know, we've had a couple of wins, you know, quite a few games, but mainly draws. So it was good to get back on a winning trail tonight.
Bill Kenwright told us before the game there wasn't much in the way of money in the coffers. How important is a cup run for you?
Well, the cup run I think is important for the club overall. I think they can gain a great deal of confidence from the cup. But Aston Villa are coming on to a good run just now. But for us, that's a couple of weeks away. We have a really important game against Derby next week at Goodison. So, you know, we hope we can add to today's result, which, you know, if you do manage to win 1 or 2 games in a row, then it makes a difference. But as I say, all the teams that are there are all capable of beating the other, so you have to turn in good performances each time you play.
No question marks over Kevin Campbell, but maybe there has been over Danny Cadamarteri. Has he come and grabbed his chance today, Walter?
Well, Danny, we have a number of young players who are having to learn their trade playing in the Premier Division. You know, Richard Dunn, Michael Ball, Franny Jeffers and young Danny. And they'll all have their ups and downs over the period till they gain the necessary experience. And Danny's a little bit like that, isn't a little bit hot and cold. I mean, even in the game today, always liable to do something, but always liable to be a little bit erratic. But he gives you everything that he's got in every game that he plays. So I was pleased for him today that he managed to contribute to the goals. I think he deserved that for the work he put in.
And you felt it was time to give Francis Jeffers a rest, but Joe Max Moore certainly took his chance, didn't he?
Yeah, he did do. Joe's a good player, and we're hoping that you know, he can take a little bit of weight off Francis. I mean, they are young players. He's only just turned 19 a few weeks ago, Francis, and you're asking him to learn to play and keep a consistent level in a very difficult league, and it's hard that. And I just feel that taking him out of the team every now and again will bring the freshness back to him, and hopefully Joe can supply us with a good level, which he did today.
Walter, thanks very much.
Andreas Lund as their solitary striker, but there came a moment when Carl Cork was up in support and Lund did what's expected of a £2.5 million signing. That was 20 minutes from time. To that point, Wimbledon had defended in numbers most effectively, but then Gustavo Poyet delivered a volley that was impossible to defend. Chelsea ignited. 2 of their substitutes combined, Gianfranco Zola for Jody Morris, and George Ware was happy to meet the cross. Gone was the impregnable Dons defence. Weah played in the third Chelsea sub, Torre Andre Flo, nearly goal number 3. But it soon came, and Flo had a part in it with the back heel. John Harley put the ball into the area, Zola touched it out, and Morris set the seal on a victory that keeps Chelsea in the hunt. Still there was time for a Chelsea free kick, but forming the wall provoked a confrontation between Dennis Wise and Kenny Cunningham. Referee Peter Jones, who could not have been closer, isolated the two players, lectured them, but took no other action. Seconds later, the game ended. The players headed for the dressing room, and then, in that area, there occurred what has been described as a serious incident. Afterwards, Brendan Kuviali said this.
Away by Stam. Cunningham. That's a nice little flick on. And they all stood watching, and Wimbledon have the early goal from Jason Ewell. Higgs. It's a fine ball to Cruyff. Excellent goal. Excellent goal. Hardley. Gale. It's better. He's got Kimball behind, and he's given... Oh, Kimball gets it back! And that's a goal by Court! And Manchester United are stunned. Just dropped him, but not dropped him behind the first defender. And Giggs nicks it. Look at this for a run. Length of the field. And here's goal! Yes! Oh, that's wonderful. Cole celebrates, but the man who deserves the credit is this man. He nicked the ball at the beginning, Ryan Giggs, and at the end, there was that moment when he feinted to shoot, pulled the ball across the two defenders who had been drawn to him, and Cole took full advantage with a fine strike.
Let's open their defence up on several times and scored his first goal.
Now he has got that. Kincladze. Powell. Christie! It's a fine save by Sullivan. That's Christie's talent. He's quick and he does drift into positions of great potential. Hardly. Oh, there's Court! Paul with the save. And Elliott. Vitally for Derby. On hand to sweep the ball away. And here's Kincladze. Encouraging Larson to occupy the space. Carbonari. That's where assured is the fiercest shot in Argentine football. And Heriderson caught upfield may give Derby a better chance. Powell, Kincladze. They're backing off him. Can he make them pay? They're still backing off. Oh! Clipped the top of the bar. And what were Wimbledon doing? They were encouraging Kincladze to come at them. Eventually Wilmot went towards him. And he was the width of the crossbar away from putting Derby into what would just about be a deserved lead. He really is finding his Premiership feet again, Georgie Kincladze, and he is terrific to watch. Kincladze. Easily away from Anderson, who did definitely pull his shirt this time. Kincladze seems to be saying to the referee, what does he have to do? Actually remove the sleeve before a free kick is given. It's more likely that they will utilise the bludgeon of Horacio Carbonari. The shooting prize legendary in Argentina. Oh, now in Derby as well, and Christie on the follow-up. And Sullivan at the third, if not the fourth attempt. Very grateful to clutch the ball to his chest. It was the low skim of the grass cutter. And Christie so nearly profited. The side's recent form has been top 8 material. Aranio. Oh, beautifully away from Ardley. Until he's won 20 caps for Italy in his time. Now Seth Johnson, who may just tee this up. Oh, and it was firmly struck. Delap. Aranio. Christie's made a darting little run. He's left it for Kinkladze, who's tried to shape it! Oh, how he deserves that! He's back. Make no mistake about it. Question mark against the goalkeeper maybe, but even so, if ever a player deserved a goal, then it was Georgie Kinkladze, whose touch on occasions has been mesmeric. The irony is that the goal was relatively straightforward. Powell. Christie's gone on ahead. Hariderson was static. Oh, Wilmot had a little kick, and another. That's beautifully done by Christie. Powell. Oh! Well, it makes up a little for Sullivan's earlier error. But if even Darryl Powell is having shots on goal, Derby must be playing well. Would have gone in as well. One back by Yule, and likewise by Carbonari. Kinkladze. Oh, that was handball. Wimbledon having to use every conceivable tactic to stop Kinkladze. By fair means or foul. Don't say that our hero is injured. That would spoil the script with 20 minutes still to go. And it's very sporting of Marcus Gale to help him into the arms of Peter Melville, the Derby physiotherapist. Remains to be seen whether Kinkladze is going to be able to continue, and Jim Smith is hurrying out just to see how bad the injury is. There's no way that they're going to want to replace him unless they're absolutely forced to. So with only 10 men, Derby take the free kick. Here's Christie! Well, Derby haven't had many days this season. Well, this looks like being one of the few. To score from a free kick with your best player off the pitch, only 10 of you on it. Well, things are going your way, but Derby deserve it. Not prepared to let Kinkladze have all the headlines. And now that the goal has been scored, Kinkladze is coming off to a standing ovation. Dion Burton is his replacement. But everyone in this all-seater stadium is on their feet applauding Georgie Kinkladze for a virtuoso performance. Aranio. Delap. Aranio's won it back, and he's found Burton. Christie wants it square! Well, it was a brave plunge by Neil Sullivan at the feet of Malcolm Christie. Kimball was the man that played them onside. And instead of a third goal, it's merely a Derby corner. Sullivan onto Christie. 3 minutes to go. Jim Smith is going to make one last change. And Malcolm Christie is going to enjoy the sort of ovation that Georgie Kinkladze did a few moments ago. Pat on the back from his manager. The promise of great things to come. And Dean Sturridge on for the final few moments in his place. Delap, Sturridge. Miranio as a foil, Anderson as a nuisance. So much of a nuisance that Derby have got the free kick. It's been a colourless performance by Wimbledon. Strangely subdued. Johnson in. And a free header makes it 3 from Dion Burton. And in the old days, you would scarcely ever have seen the former Wimbledon team concede a goal like that, unchallenged at the back post. It completes a resounding victory for Derby, which may just turn their season around. Schnorr. Derby apparently with power to add more. Burton's in a threatening position in the middle. There's Sturridge! They're all getting in on the act. Schnorr, who set it up with a break that went from one end of the pitch to the other. And then the perfect angled delivery. If Sturridge hadn't got there, then Burton might well have done. Wimbledon sliced open, and Derby enjoying by far the best day of a hitherto troubled season.
Headed on by Lund. Gale battling for it. Oh, here's Ewell. Gale. Whistle's gone. Penalty. Wimbledon with the chance to take the lead from the penalty spot. Nardley scores easily. It's a corner for Leicester City, which Muzzy Izzard has gone across to take. We've had just under 10 minutes in the second half. Elliott heads it down. Taggart! Had to score from there, Jerry Taggart. It's 1-1. And isn't he pleased? Corner taken short. Guppy swings it in left-footed. Elliott in there. So too was the other defender, Taggart. And even he couldn't miss from there. It's a good flick on by Gale. Oh yes! Carl Court. Wimbledon are back in front.
And the feast of goals continued against a now clearly demoralised Wimbledon. Kuehl. Nice control from Harry Kuehl. Oh, this is a lovely ball through. Can Bacchus finish it? He can. Eric Backer. Is it deep? Oh, surely a handball from Carl Court. And it is. Penalty to Leeds. Hart to take this spot kick. Hopkin. Fail. Backer. A second goal for Eric Backer. Smith. Into space for Kuehl. Kuehl bears down on goal. Can he put it back for a teammate? He's going to go all the way himself.
Liverpool starting to look very good. And the fifth club in the top 5 this morning were Arsenal. Their opponents today were a club in the bottom 5. After 1 win in 7, Wimbledon were within 6 points of the drop zone at kick-off time. Dean Blackwell and Andy Roberts were back after lengthy layoffs. Tony Adams wasn't fit enough to return for Arsenal, but his defensive cellmate Martin Keown was, with next week's UEFA Cup game in mind, perhaps Messrs Henry and Petit move to the bench. It's Gerald Sinstad at Selhurst Park.
Vieira. Silvino. Overmars to Kanu and back to Bergkamp. Half a dozen short, sharp passes there. Ewell leading the break for Wimbledon. Nice touch from Lund, meant for Gale. Ewell was supporting. Lund! Good header from the Norwegian. Andreas Lund scored on his debut against Chelsea. Now gets his second. And that's a wake-up call for Arsenal. Andresen. Lund. Gale. Ewell has gone through the middle. Gale going on well too. Got an angle for a shot and lost the ball. Somebody got a foot in crucially there. Tremendous run by Gale. And it was Grimaldi who just came in with the crucial tackle. Four in the middle for Wimbledon. Ewell! Great stop at the near post by Seaman. Came across here to Ewell. He hit it well, and Seaman saved it well. Kanu's not down for Bergkamp. This is where it gets dangerous. Kanu is there, and Kanu has scored. Bergkamp threaded it past the two defenders. Kanu kept his head, kept his balance, tied up the scores. Patrick Vieira, Mark Overmars, Bergkamp spreading it out for Silvino. Silvino's shot! One hand was enough. Sullivan possibly not expecting the shot, and a good shot it was too. 5 minutes to go to half-time. Left foot to the near post, and a goal for Kanu is allowed. For a moment they all seemed to stop, and I thought it might have been disallowed, but it was a fine corner, whipped in, near post. Kanu just got the touch that was needed, and that's 2-1, and that's Arsenal in front. Lund has got away from Lushny, and now Mr. Rennie is reaching for his yellow card. Oh, it's a red! It's a red card for Lushny. Referee Uriah Rennie has decided that was a clear goal-scoring chance denied and has shown the red card. Arsenal came here on the back of 4 consecutive wins, looking as though they've got out of their slump. Good turn by Bergkamp, and the shot's away! Sullivan a good save. Looking for Gale. Keown was behind him. Silvino just hacking it up in the air. It's come to Hughes, good save! Excellent shot from Michael Hughes, surpassed by David Seaman's reaction. Petit. 2 in the break. Parla looking to set it up and didn't quite manage it. And holds his head in horror. Henry got away from Blackwell with ease. Now takes on Anderson. Got an angle, couldn't use it. Oh! Henry goes away from the pass, and a penalty is given. The trip on Henry will settle it. And a clear goal-scoring chance denied yet again, and Ewell gets the red card. And waits to take the penalty. And scores. Thierry Henry gets his 19th goal of the season, and that surely now will wrap the game up for Arsenal.
It's really difficult to come from behind and then win the game, but all this we keep focused and we keep on going, and we got the goals and we won the game.
I think we made a decent first half. Was a bit unlucky to go to half-time, 1 goal down. In the second half, Arsenal played very smart with 10 players after the sending off, behind the ball, and tried on counter-attacks with their quick players up front, and succeeded with that.
5 wins in a row, that suggests you're coming back into form at a time when it matters.
It matters now. We will see if we can sustain that consistent run we have at the moment, and we have now Lens after we go to Leeds. But we'll see how good we are.
And there's the top 5. Manchester United's lead is into double figures, and unless a major shock is around the corner, well, the title looks settled. It's 2 from 4 for the Champions League places, it would seem. Do you go along with that, chaps?
It's never over till it's over. That's what they say, Stubbsy. But you're right. Manchester United, no way back for the other 4 teams. But you know, it's unbelievably tight. Last week, you're talking about Leeds United still going for the Championship. Now, you know, looking at the 3 teams behind them, it's conceivable they might miss out in the Champions League. I think that for all neutrals, they'd love to see Leeds United, because of the season they've had, get into the Champions League. But they've got to hold their nerve together. They've got some massive games coming on.
Which order do you think they'll finish in, Mark?
Well, I think the thing with Leeds is how quickly they can arrest the slide, being at Leicester last week, being at home as well today. And you'd be really worried if you're in the Leeds United camp about the form of both Arsenal and Liverpool. I mean, that's 5 straight wins for Arsenal, getting all the players back fit. Liverpool just the same, all their players are coming back fit, and I do agree with Alan when, you know, I think Leeds do deserve to be in the Champions League, but I tell you what, and looking at the fixtures as well, I reckon of those fixtures, Liverpool have probably got the best.
Yeah, I think Liverpool, when they play the 3 away games, will determine where they finish. Wimbledon, Everton and Chelsea away, 3 big matches away from home. I think the intrigue with the 4 sides is that they're capable of winning, you know, every game if they're not playing against each other. I think, as we've seen with the 3 points for a win, we can be sitting here in 2 weeks' time and say, well, Leeds United are certainty to finish second. But, you know, you look at Arsenal in 4th position, and I think what a great team, 1 to 11 they are. You know, Chelsea are going for everything. As Mark said, Liverpool have come good. It's going to be difficult for Leeds United to keep that second place, but we're hopeful that they can do it.
And Manchester United have got a great big fat cigar on, as we're speaking.
Sheffield Wednesday was sensing survival, though their game at Wimbledon was watched by the smallest Premiership crowd that season.
The way you look, there seems to be Liverpool supporters, and they might have something to cheer, but Heskey is denied by Sullivan. A good save too from Scotland's number 1. Heskey unlucky. Careful deliberations from Thompson. And Owen! He's not normally noted for his heading, but that wasn't far off. Needed saving. Thompson again. Dropping the shoulder. Good skill. The shot not quite matching the approach, but he's a talent, isn't he? But harrying again from Liverpool. Wimbledon just can't get in this game, and they're going to be behind surely now. They are. It's been coming. It arrives from Emil Heskey, and Liverpool, well, the fanfare of trumpets from Heskey says it all. Wimbledon just haven't really been in this, and with Michael Owen around, they can't even dwell. Here's Haman now. Owen peeling away to the left. Haman all alone. Good save by Sullivan. Liverpool are running this. Hughes. It's good play from Hughes. Good shot! And Westerveld, who's been a virtual passenger, does make a save when called upon. And a good one. Berger with the signals. Heskey on the near. And it is desperate for a goal, and they have one. Anderson it is that's got it. Is it too late though? Surprised Neil Sullivan didn't come up for that one. Everybody else seemed to be. Wimbledon need a goal. Estabel comes. Smashed away by Smeacher. And here's Camera. And he's going. 3 defenders behind him, 1 in front. Still Titi Camera. He hit it well enough.
The club more than £10 million in lost revenue, so Jason Ewell's miss was expensive to say the least, as Wimbledon looked to turn their early superiority into goals. Bradford then nearly made the most of some help from the referee, Dean Saunders, forcing a fine save from Neil Sullivan. And they did benefit from another piece of generosity from Jeff Winter. He decided Ben Thatcher handled Saunders' shot, although the replay makes you wonder how he could possibly have avoided it. Peter Beagrie stepped up to score his 6th of the season, 5 from the penalty spot. 5 minutes into the second half and another handball decision went against Wimbledon. Wayne Jacobs allowed to play on after handling the ball. And Peter Beagrie took advantage with a mazy run and a low drive past Neil Sullivan. All too much for John Hartson. The Wimbledon striker was sent off for abusive language. There were few complaints about Bradford's third goal. Dean Windass led Sullivan a merry dance before finishing from the tightest of angles. Wimbledon have defied the Doom Merchants for 14 seasons in the top flight, but Egil Olsen's men could pay a heavy price for 8 straight defeats and leave Bradford in their place as the masters of the Great Escape. James Monroe, Sky News.
Terry Burton's choice shows just one change from last week. Marcus Gale returns, and it's John Hartson, back from injury all too briefly at Bradford and suspended next Saturday, who drops down to substitute. Villa give Dion Dublin his 4th start in the comeback journey to Wembley. Alan Wright is fit again, and Lee Hendry gets a chance to influence the Boss's Cup final choice. George Boateng rests on 13 yellow cards. Terry Burton applauds the crowd, and for the last half an hour we've heard the chant of Terry Burton's Bamiami. Mark Halsey from Welwyn Garden City is the man in charge. And it's a warm up in every sense at Selhurst Park. And for those of you of a superstitious nature, I should point out this is the 13th home meeting in league football between Wimbledon and Aston Villa. It's Dion Dublin, he's a bit short. Jason Ewell got a touch. Ben Thatcher with the long throw. Met by Ugoy Hyok. Mick Harford next to the new acting manager, who's looking very much into the future, and not just for 2 games. Cunningham in the struggle with Carboni, who gains possession somewhat with the help of Cunningham. This is Paul Merson, and that's a good ball to Hendry, and it's well pulled down, and it wasn't a bad ball across the box. There weren't enough players forward for Villa, only Dublin. Thompson gives it away. Here for offside, he's not. Carboni. Dublin far side! And a let-off for Wimbledon. Didn't meet it that well. He's a bit cross about it, I think. Ball needlessly given away. Appeal for offside, but not when the ball was played, according to the assistant referee, and I think he was right. But Dublin really made a bit of a mess of it. Court. Lovely header by Gale and a good shot. Headed on the up, did Hughes. But it proved not to be a test for David James. Swirled quite a lot, but he had plenty of time. Cunningham. Thompson. Cavoni. Delaney wants it on the far right. Almost set up by the intervention for Lee Hendry. Which would have been hard on Jason Newell. Gale goes left. Court is right. This is Anderson. Hughes, time to find a decent cross, and it's curling a lot, and it's an own goal by Ugo Ehio. Hughes' cross, and a bit of help for Terry Burton's side. Where the goals come from. A lot of curl, a challenge there, and Ehio bent to put it past his own goalkeeper. And Michael Hughes was given plenty of time here to look up, pick his man, but he didn't know that his man was going to be Ehio. Gale behind him, but there appeared to be no call, and Hughes very happy with his part in the proceedings. One thought perhaps for Ehio, better now than in 2 weeks' time down in London. That's a foul by Blackwell. Just eased Dublin out of the way. Ehio has gone forward in the hope that he can make an early atonement. Carboni, the player just behind the wall. It's going to be Thompson. Ball did its job. Not too difficult when it comes at ankle height. Well up. Testing. And it was Ehio. Came close. Really well swept out to the right, and a good climb, and Sullivan was quite relieved to see that come down on the roof. Well on by Dublin, Carboni trying to get it behind again, and Horiderson very positively across. He's a bit of a thorn in their side. Prickling a bit. Interesting, rather different cross. That's well played by Hendry. Good shot. Excellent save by Neil Sullivan. Fine piece of football by three players. This is very well done by Hendry. First time shot and a brilliant stop. And Scotland's number one showed why then. Carboni. in an attempt to keep it in, but not successful. And the captain has to retire, Kenny Cunningham, and he's replaced by Duncan Jupp. It seems to be full of youngsters enjoying the sunshine, enjoying the football too. Yes, we've seen you. So's Mum, probably. Hughes, the provider of the one goal. Right. Losing out. And here's Marcus Gale. Came off Gareth Barry. Good try. Got wide by Ardley. Another occasion when Aston Villa were caught looking very much second best at the back. And Michael Hughes, not surprisingly, stays down for a moment. It's a meeting of feet, both with eyes on the ball. Hughes turned into the oncoming Delaney, but Delaney with foot coming down, and Mr. Halsey's opinion is deserving of the booking. It was a stretch from quite a long way. Any player sent off on the Villa side this afternoon would miss the cup final, and he now has one yellow card. But that's unfortunate for Wimbledon. The ups and downs when you're battling at the bottom of the table. And an opportunity for Damien Francis. And here's Dublin! Oh, he's had two good opportunities in the half. A poor header early on, and a disappointing shot there. A mistake by Thatcher, and he just completely mishit the ball to Dion Dublin. So at half-time, thanks to an excellent save by Neil Sullivan, which denied Alan Thompson, Wimbledon have a one-goal advantage given them by Ugo Ehio. A check through Wimbledon's record will show that since Joe Kinnear had his heart attack back in March '99, Wimbledon have won just 7 times in 47 matches. And their current run of 8 consecutive defeats is a club record. But they lead by a precious goal. Start of the second half. That'll make all the difference. We shall see. This is Carbone. Caused problems early on, and might have caused problems then if it had been somebody other than Dublin coming into the box. 5 players in midfield seem to be a little reluctant to support the front player when Carbone goes wide. John Gregory's team with 3 wins and 2 draws since the semi-final, and they've only been beaten once in 19 Premiership games. Bit of space for Merson to move into. It's a lovely way to ball, and that is a miss by Ehio. Oh dear. One of those afternoons for Ugo Ehio. A wonderful pass by Merson. And it was almost criminal that it should have been wasted. Wimbledon totally caught out. the chairman of the club, Jon Gelson, on the left, looking at his watch, and Kato Slomberg, who's just been brought onto the board, to his left. We wait for the cross. Well up by Delaney, and it's 1-1, and the scorer is Lee Hendry. But it's been coming since the start of the second half. Wright's cross, good climb by Delaney, good finish by Lee Hendry. Thatcher will be disappointed, but it was well guided past Horidison and Sullivan, and with 56 minutes played, it's 1-1, and the tension returns to Selhurst Park. 1 point in their last home fixture may well not be enough, and the rather cruel shout from the Villa supporters is going down. Southgate. Right. That's a good way to ball in. This is Barry. A neat piece of play. And Gareth Barry prepared to go on his less favoured foot. No doubt that John Gregory wants the victory. And he sounds suggesting they're going to get it. Southgate. And Dublin! Suddenly found himself completely unmarked, and this time his shooting boots were certainly there. Ball that cut out the entire Wimbledon defence to the point when you were looking to see whether there was a flag to be raised, but there wasn't. Wimbledon back players did not protest and apparently went to sleep. You would think that John Gregory's team had just gone behind rather than got into the lead. And Wimbledon bring on John Hartson and take off Carl Court. And John Hartson, it might be said, owes his team something. That's good cover across the back by Gareth Barry. Not the best of clearances by Thompson. This is Gale. And Dublin and Jupp having a rather silly moment, and I think Dublin's going to get booked for that. He was held initially, Dublin, but then because of that he just tripped his man. The referee caught the counterpuncher, but I don't think he has any choice other than to book Dublin. It's a blatant trip. Barry. Hardly wins the corner. Hopes. Well out by Hyog. Oof. A little bit of a miss-hit, I suspect, by Anderson. But it had certainly beaten David James. Now biting times. Praying times. 4 minutes of stoppage time. Ehiog's header. Oh, Samuel puts it away. And his goalkeeper looks at him in some disbelief. Again, 2 in the 6-yard box, 5 to come from further out. France is looking for room. And it's in! And it's Hudson! They're all off the bench, total celebration. Could make a huge difference. It would take them out of the bottom 3. If the news we've had from Burwood Street is right. Hudson met it. James got nowhere near it. His first mistake he's made in the match, really. Never looked like getting that. And John Hudson, well, he was caught, James, to be fair, by Francis. Francis turned and the goalkeeper was knocked away. And John Hudson has scored what may be a priceless goal. Joachim. Carbone. Hudson's 9th goal of the season. He leads the charge off the pitch before anybody else comes on. And Terry Burton's side live to fight on to the final fixture in Southampton. And the advantage has swung their way. Points are level. Goal advantage is with Wimbledon. An own goal by Ehiog after 15 minutes. Hendry the equaliser after 56. Dublin with what looked to be the winner after 74. And Hudson in the 3rd minute of stoppage time, making it 2-2. Another twist in the Wimbledon tale.
Одна из интриг последнего тура английской премьер-лиги – определение третьего неудачника. Темно-синий Уимблдон могла успокоить гостевая победа над Саутгемптоном. Однако голкипер такой же темно-синий сборной Шотландии Салливан, установив стенку так, что она мешала прежде всего ему самому, заставил партнеров о победе забыть. Голевой удар нанес Бридж в начале 2-го тайма. А потом Уимблдон забыл и о ничьей. Впрочем, он, похоже, вообще обо всем забыл, потому что проход Марьяна Пахаря вызвал не только восхищение, но и недоумение. Сколько вообще футболистов играет в команде соперника? 2 или, может быть, целых 3?